and thank you for joining Cup of Awesomism podcast. I am Lynn, aka Awesomism Mom, and I have started a new series called Music on Monday. And I'm really adamant about highlighting and promoting up and coming music artists, especially those that are within the country music segment, because I'm a huge country music fan. I listen to all types of music, because I had 4 kids and they all like different music, and I would play all their different music in the car because I found that way they didn't fight. And that was just for pure sanity that I learned to like every type of music out there. But I love up and coming artists. I'm like really into it because I look at those artists like Three Gun Whiskey as a small business. And we get out there every single day and say, please support small businesses, shop local, support your local guys. Well, guess what? Get out there and support these guys. Put them on your playlist. I have them on my playlist. If you listen, I listen to Spotify. Press the like button. If you can't put them into your regular playlist, push them on the like button. Listen to your like music. You're helping them out. Push their stuff. Another thing I love to do is when I show my stories on Instagram, I put their music on it and say, thanks to these guys for the music. I've done you guys before and said, go listen to their music. It's great. Do it. I promise you, you will love these up and coming artists. And I promise you, you're going to love these guys. So this is one of my favorite that I've discovered lately. They're called Three Gun Whiskey. Find them on Instagram, follow them, and please put their music on your playlist. So today I'm going to let him tell you everything about himself, about his group, and let's just have a good time. So you got it.
Awesome. Hey, thank you first of all for having me. Really appreciate any opportunity I have to get out and talk about our music and talk about the things we've done as we've tried to grow. I've been on quite a few of these podcasts, and you're one of the first people that has mentioned the aspect of it being a business. It absolutely I'm not talking about music business. I'm talking about it actually being a business for us. Yep. I mean, my band, we have our own bank account we did from the get-go, because we travel, we pay for gas, we pay for hotels, we pay for everything. And if you're not doing it smart and doing it as a business, then it just doesn't work. And you have to be, you can be a mediocre musician and be an excellent businessman and do well. You can be an excellent musician and be a crappy businessman, and you won't do well. So thanks for mentioning that. I mean, it's interesting you brought it like that. Yeah, my name's Jed. I am the singer and rhythm guitar player for the band Three Gun Whiskey. I started the band with a good friend about 4.5 years ago, just basically in my garage and his garage picking guitars. And I was having a birthday party and I'm like, well, I'd like to play music at my birthday party. So I kind of threw myself a party, which I know is kind of weird to do. I threw myself a party and had the trailer in my barn, and me and a couple guys played some music. We're like, hey, this was good. People enjoy it. Let's start doing this. And we slowly started booking some shows around here locally. And we were doing so well. And I hate bringing this up because it's something that I'm so sick of hearing, but we were kicking some butt until COVID. And then, I don't think a lot of people realize that, you lose COVID really, thank God I wasn't about to quit my day job and do this full time, because before COVID, we were rolling like that, and, in the band right now, I have a full day job, but, I got to keep my guys fed. One guy works at a guitar, my lead player, Ben, awesome guitar player. He works at a guitar store and he plays music. That's his life. Jake, my drummer, phenomenal drummer. Music is his job. So bringing up the business thing, and Eric, our bass player, he's a student right now, just got out of the Army. But music is it's what's paying his bills. So talk about a business, yes, there's individuals like that. We have to keep going. We have to keep these gigs going. We have to, and we get a whole different conversation about, places not wanting to pay anything because money's tight because COVID. We're like, yeah, everybody's tight, but we're showing up and bringing people. So yeah, there's four of us. I said this. We've traveled. We've had a lot of fun making music, and we've kind of. You talk about liking a bunch of different music. I grew up the same way. Like if you listen to my playlist, you would think that like there's 5 different people because it'll have an old country song, it'll have a rap song, it'll have a rock song. I go back and forth on all the music genres, and that's kind of where us as musicians, it was kind of hard. People ask, what kind of music do you play? And sometimes you've listened to our stuff. I have a hard time just saying straight country, right? Because
Right.
I love country music. I grew up listening to backtrack. I go to my grandpa's house. We listen to Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, listen to those guys. My parents listened to AC/DC, Bob Seger, listen to that stuff. So then I grew up listening to everything from Ricky Skaggs to Metallica to Pantera to Travis Tritt. Those were the people I listened to when I was, growing up.
Right.
So as we started writing songs, and started writing guitar licks and stuff like that, it's amazing on how quickly the different type of genres that you listen to come up. And that's one of the things that I have 2 kids, and I tell them, I learn how to play an instrument, learn how to play anything you want to, because whatever sounds good to your ear right now might not be what sounds great to your ear in 10 years. But as a musician, every little type of stuff you play, it all comes full circle.
It does. And I think one of the things that I really like so much about up and coming artists is, like you guys, is that you're willing to experiment. Sometimes when they make it, they kind of feel like, okay, I made it based on this music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and so because they feel like they made it based on that music, they have to stay in that music sound. When you're up and coming, you're more experimental because you're out there. I know Sammy Kershaw, okay? And when he was up and coming in the country music, and he told me once, and this was a hilarious story to me, that he was going around doing construction and then singing in these clubs at night, right? To make it, and then, he became popular, Sammy. But the bottom line was he was out there just trying to hoof it and make it. So he was singing what people wanted to hear. Once you make it, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to sing these same 20 songs. Not that you guys don't do that, but you'll add things because you're bringing in the crowds. I can't stress enough, and I know I say this on social media, and I said it on here earlier, but please find these up and coming artists. You guys are amazing. I love your music. I do. I love your music. I wish more people would listen to it because, when I put like you guys or Brandon Hott or you guys in my stories, okay, people will come to me afterwards. Serious. I'll get private messages and go, who was that was in that, story? I really like their music. And if more people would play it, listen to it, promote it, guess what? It helps you guys. I mean, like you said, you're a business.
Yep, it absolutely does. And anytime we can get our music out there in front of people is huge. And social media it's a necessary evil these days, and I've had to learn so much, because I, like, on my personal Facebook account, like, there's very little posts. Like, I hardly ever do anything. But on the business account, I've had to learn about how the algorithm works, how this stuff, what I got to do to try to keep pushing it out there. I got to post stories on, like, that's not me personally. I don't do that with my personal accounts.
Right.
Because my personal accounts are like to keep up with a couple army buddies.
Right.
Yeah, you mentioned about myself. I was in the military for a while and did a few deployments overseas. And that, talking about influence, that influences a lot of my songwriting. We're working on it right now. I have a hell of a time writing a happy song. I just, for some reason, it's so hard for me to write a happy song. But also, if you listen to our music, like if you think about where I was or what I was, if you listen to the lyrics, something I don't necessarily like explaining what a song's about, because if you're a music lover, you and I can hear the same song and think it can mean two totally different things to each other.
Right.
And that's the wonderful thing about music. And I know your podcast is centered towards, and I know you have an autistic child. I have an autistic nephew. He's, Avery, he's just turned 16 or so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And music is something that's always been,
Yep.
um, soothing's not the word to use. He's heard it
Yep.
when he doesn't hear much. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? I know
Yeah,
that
makes a lot of sense.
So, that's why I was super excited about coming and to your podcast, because it is in my heart. And when people hear music, it does different things to them.
Yes.
And making music is even more joyful, even if it's a sad thing or what. But and I encourage my young kids to get into music, to play. Even if you buy a practice drum and you learn how to keep a beat, feeling the music, it does something to you.
It does. I suffer from severe anxiety. I have GAD, general anxiety disorder. And one of the things that my therapist, when I was diagnosed years ago, told me, listen to music. She said, because I can, and people think this is strange, but I can listen to something that's so upbeat, so crazy, and it soothes me, because it's kind of like it helps get my stress level out. You know what I mean? And one of the things, another reason why I really, really want all you guys, and I've told, other up and coming music artists, that's the same thing. One of the reasons why we're having the music channel on our Team Awesomism Virtual Academy, and putting guys like you guys on there, not only so that we can help you expand your audience to autistic adults that can learn, but guess what? You're out there every day. You're working so hard to get people to listen to your music. Like I said, again, you're a business, and you're, in some ways, it's a personal struggle to work that hard to make it work. And I want autistic adults who have an 85% unemployment rate, okay, 85% unemployment rate, to know, hey, maybe your heart is in songwriting. Maybe you could go and work for a band, because they will never let you down. They'll work. Okay. Maybe writing music. Zelina Hall, who I did a podcast with, she's an autistic country music artist. Okay. She writes all her own songs. And even if they don't want to go into music, here's the thing. They can look at you guys as a way, and I know this is always the way Peyton looks at things. He struggles because he's an autistic adult with different things. Well, he looks at, when he sees like you guys out there working hard to make it work, that motivates him. Like, you know what? I'm not the only one who has to struggle to make things happen.
Oh, yeah.
We all have our struggles. And that's why I just, when you said, Jess, you want to come on, I was so excited, because I just want to help you guys. I want to support you. I love your music. And I think there's so much more collaboration between up and coming music and the autism community than people realize. There is. And I'm hoping with my Music Monday podcast, people will listen to this and people will understand the connectivity. And also, if you're in the autism world and you want to support different people who support the autism world, you see the commercials on TV. Oh, this company supports autism. Okay, they do autism awareness. Well, guess what? 3 Gun Whiskey supports us.
100%.
Go show your support, guys. You're listening to this podcast, you're sharing this podcast, go support them. Go put them on your playlist. Go tell your friends about it, because this is a way for you to get out there that other people may not understand. And that's why I wanted to have you on.
Yeah, and I appreciate that more than words explain, because it's outreach is part of as you know, education and outreach, no matter what you're trying to do, is a huge step of moving forward. And our music is what we live, eat, and breathe daily. And you're talking about the unemployment rates of autistic adults, probably not much different than numerically wise as unemployment rates of musicians, because
Yeah.
it's such a hard thing to do. But the one common thing they have together is, you're if you don't dream, all you're going to do is fail.
Exactly.
If you dream to do something, you may not have the hugest success on earth, but there's a certain amount of pride you get when you're chasing something and you get success for it. And, you know, like I said, talking, my nephew, seeing him do, you know, little wins for him are huge.
Yes.
It's no different. It's absolutely no different. He has stuff he wants to do, and we have stuff. It's just a boy, a man, whoever chasing a dream. It doesn't matter what the dream is. It doesn't matter if you're autistic or if you're, if you're not, or if you have another disability. I'm a disabled veteran. I don't push that a lot. I know there's been places where I could be like, I'm disabled veteran, I suffered from this and this and this based on my combat experience, but that doesn't matter, because the success I get is because of my dreams going forward, not
Right.
because I have this issues
I agree.
issues that goes forward. So it is different as we all are. We're all so similar in this, and
You're
I'm
right.
happy to support you guys, and I appreciate any support your community wants to help us with, and we're there. I mean, we're there to answer questions. We're there to explain. Like I said, if someone were to message me and ask me what the song was about, I'd sit down when I had a second and type up a thing and tell them what the song was about, because someone taking interest in my art and what came from my heart and my head means something to me. Just like, someone that has autism that is trying to chase a dream, and someone explains to them, hey, let's do this. It's no different. We're all seeking something that's inside somebody and trying to get it to come out into fruition of something that makes us happy. That's all.
I agree. I love that. And I appreciate you saying that. I really do, because this is why I call it awesomism. I've had people misunderstand why I call it awesomism, like our virtual academy is team awesomism. And people will say to me, well, what do you think, you're awesome? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Since Peyton was little, I told him he didn't have autism, he had awesomism. God made him the special one of 57. He made him awesome. And I told him, and I always tell him this, you're awesome. No matter what you want to do, you're awesome. You remember that. And if you can't do something, so what? Find something you can. That doesn't make you a failure. It makes you someone who tried. The people who fail are the people who never try. And and this is another reason why, like I said, I just love, I have to say, Luke Combs is one of my favorite. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I followed Luke Combs when nobody cared about Luke Combs. It's true. He used to respond to me, on Twitter, because nobody else cared about him.
Yeah.
And now look at him, and not everybody gets to his stature, but guess what? You're out there changing lives through music. Oh, and by the way, thank you for your service, because God bless you. It's because of people like you that we're able to sit here and have the discussions we're able to have. And because of people like you, that my 4 kids are able to pursue the world they pursue. America is still the greatest country in the world. Sometimes I have my doubts lately, but America is still the greatest country in the world. And it's because of men and women who put on the uniform, and anybody who doesn't agree with that hasn't really looked at what you do. And so I know you're a fighter. I know you're a survivor, because you survived probably more than 99% of people could ever deal with. Okay. And so I want nothing but the best for 3 Gun Whiskey. And I keep saying 3 Gun Whiskey, so it goes into people's heads, so they go Google, search it, and follow you and support you.
I appreciate that. No, and again, like, I appreciate the things. I look at my military service as something that, it was a dream of mine when I was a kid. I grew up playing Army. out in the woods with my brother. And I had a very successful military career, as my brother's getting ready to retire next year out of military, and he is extremely successful military career, and it was a dream, and just like this is, and I went after it full tilt. And and like I said, I appreciate your thanks, but it was a job for me, and I miss it every day. And it was something I enjoyed, just like I enjoyed music, and I enjoy my family. I just look for joy, look for stuff that is good. And again, I appreciate the plugs. We have, like you said, we have our Instagram. It's 3 Gun Whiskey. Facebook. We also have our YouTube channel, which I will admit, I've been slacking like crazy on the YouTube. We need to get some videos. We do have one music video that we put out a little bit ago, and it's, even we've had a personnel changes since then. Same, we still play those songs. With us out during COVID, again, I hate saying it, but if we're not out booking and making money, we're not putting money in our bank account to pay to make videos. And
Right.
I'm not the type of guy that I'll throw a crappy cell phone video up just to put something up. I want to have good quality, stuff. And so yeah, our YouTube, that's something that we're actually going to talk about tonight. We need to get some YouTube stuff going again. And but yeah, we have the YouTube. I have Twitter. I'm not on it a whole lot, but right now, primarily, I'm trying to work on our Instagram. Excuse me. I'm trying to work on our Instagram, get that moved up. And again, it's just 3 Gun Whiskey. I try to put pictures of us at practice.
Oh, I like your Instagram. I do. I think you do a good job. I will tell you though, I will push you on Twitter. I know you don't do much on there because I don't even like Twitter, but Twitter's where I have my bigger crowd. I have I think it's 1,600 or something on Instagram. I don't even know. I don't pay attention, but I have almost 7,000 on Twitter. So, and I do put stuff out there, but the other thing you were talking about doing videos, we would love to have some videos for the Team Awesomism Virtual Academy.
I will do my best to try to get us something going. A lot of it is to do a sound.
Yeah.
We have this. I'm in our practice studio right now. Great practice studio. It gets so damn loud in here unless we have a pro guy in here to do mixing and mastering. It's really hard. And like I said, I want to have good product that goes out, because that's what I'm using to pitch us to play big venues, to open for national acts, and I don't like pitching them with a cell phone video that somebody's girlfriend took from the corner of the room.
I get it. I do. Listen, thank you for saying that, because I'm going to tell you something off topic a second. Thank you for saying that, because we're doing the Team Awesomism Virtual Academy, okay? And it's basically it is there for everything for autistic adults on how to tie their shoes to get a job, and everything in between. Virtual travel, you name it, how to cook. I got a bunch of barbecue guys that are sending us videos of barbecue. It's so awesome. We got some of the most amazing barbecue guys. These guys are having fun coming up with stuff. Okay. And we've got people, I've got this awesome guy. He's doing videos of how to shine a shoe properly, how to tie a tie, all these kind of things. It's everything, anything you can think of, we're doing. Okay. Backyard ways to stay fit, this kind of stuff. Okay. And somebody said to me, well, you could just use your cell phone for all this. Cause we went out and bought, GoPros and all this kind of stuff, right? They were like, well, you just need your cell phone. I'm like, no, you don't get it. We're not trying to just, take a picture, like you said, like you see on Twitter, where somebody takes a little video and sticks it out. We're trying to do this professionally, because this is really a business for us, the Virtual Academy. This is really to make game changing for autistic adults. And one of the things that I want to do is have a live music class, okay, where we let autistic adults, say 15 of them, come in and talk to you and ask their questions and really get to know, because a lot of them are interested in this kind of stuff. And
I'd be more than happy to do a sit down, just a Q&A session. I'd be absolutely more than happy to do that, because I think I could try to be as general as we want to, and hit topics while we're talking, hoping that individuals listen to us. But I'm definitely would be open to sit down and answer questions about, anything. I'm an open book. Sometimes my answers may not be politically correct or the proper thing people want to hear, but if you ask me, I'll probably tell you exactly.
Oh, I'm the same
exactly
way.
yeah. So, but yeah, I'd be more than happy to sit down and talk to a group of individuals if any questions they had about music, about instruments, like when I started playing, you know, stuff like that. I mean, there's there's a lot there's a lot of different things that I think people, I didn't realize until I kind of got into this about 4 years ago, is I've turned into an extreme gear nerd. Like I I played the same guitar probably for 15 years or something like that. I got to doing this, and now I'm constantly changing and doing stuff. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to sit down with a group of individuals and virtually and talk to them. But I more than happy, set it up. We'll make it happen.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to have one of our live classes be that, because I think too, a lot of times autistic adults are afraid, and you know this from having a nephew like this, they are afraid when they're in a public setting to ask questions because they don't want to come across as wrong, because you know what I mean? But if they're in a private setting and they're with like you and I, and we're doing it virtually, and they can ask you questions and you answer them, it makes them feel like they matter, because they do. This is what I always try to tell people, I know I love autism awareness, I get it, but I always tell this same little story to everybody who will listen. If I'm sitting at my desk and I see an elderly person, my age, because I'm elderly, riding their bike down the street and they fall and get hurt, okay? I'm aware they're hurt. If I just keep working, nothing's going to get fixed. If I accept that they're hurt and I need to do something, I get up, I go out there. Then if I actively call 911 and help them, I fix the problem. Awareness is great, but acceptance and activism in the autism world is what I strive for. And that's why I will always put out autism activism and autism acceptance, because as we show them that we accept them and we understand better what they go through and what they're dealing with, guess what? They become less stressed. We become less stressed, worrying, as parents or family members, in your case, worrying about them for the future. Because the number one thing that scares me the most for Peyton is, now he's lucky, he has 3 siblings. Who's going to be there for him when I'm gone? And that's why we're doing the virtual academy. That's why we're exposing them to everything, including music. That's why I'm doing like these podcasts, because guess what? Music is a central part of our life. Go in a restaurant, go in a grocery store, go in a coffee shop, music playing.
In an elevator, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Everybody's doing music. It doesn't matter. I've traveled around the world. So have you, because you've been, I've been to the Middle East multiple times. There's music everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. We play music. Music is a commonality. Okay. Music can join people together. So, because I love sports, but not everybody likes sports. So I can sit and talk sports with people who like sports, but people don't care about it. Everybody listens to music. So what is one big thing that we can all agree on? Music.
Even if it's not the same genre, we can all agree that it does something.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, go to a hotel, they have music playing it out by the pool, one style, inside and out. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're 100% accurate. 100% accurate. And everybody likes different things. And I know some musicians or some people get kind of really pigeonholed on what they're gonna put up with, and that's not me. I mean, I literally listen to just about everything.
So do I.
But yeah, like I said, our as a band, we listen to all sorts of stuff. We driving to shows, sometimes it's kind of funny the craziness that gets put on the radio. And we probably listen to everything on our way to a show but ourselves. Yeah, it's just kind of a lot of goofiness and stuff going on. But yeah, I'm 100% supportive of you guys. Any support you guys can give us, we absolutely we'd love it, and it'd make me proud to know that the people that are listening to our music and knowing that we care, and that
Right.
we're, you know, as a band, we write music because we enjoy it and we want people to enjoy it. And it's a labor of love, I guess, is a good way to put it.
And I can tell that in your music. I can. And like I said, not only do I look at you guys as a small business, which is, you know, again, support small businesses, folks, but also, and this is something that, and I stand by this, there is so much room out there for all of us to listen to you. Do you know what I mean? Meaning there's 300 some million people alone in America. Okay. So we all listen to music, like whether it's in a store or a restaurant, whatever. Okay. There's plenty of time for people to tune into you, is my point. Like I love Black Bear Diner. Okay. It's my favorite restaurant in the whole world. Like I love Black Bear Diner, and they'll put out every so often. And the people at Black Bear Diner are the best. And they're a big chain. Okay. They have like 137 or 157.
Around here, but I've had one in California. I've been to one in California. Delicious.
Yeah, they are. And
yeah.
They picked Peyton as a Random Kindness Week ambassador. So for 1 week, we were able to give out bear bucks to different people. Okay. And we have one right by our house. We live in Texas, and we have one right by our house. But they'll put out, what should we put on the jukeboxes? They have those jukeboxes, and I will always recommend upcoming music artists, and they always laugh at me. I'm like, listen to these guys, and you know what? God bless them. They do. They listen because they'll be like, we're listening right now, and I know they are because they'll make comments. Yeah. And see, this is why it's not that hard, folks, to support people like Three Gun Whiskey. It's not. Do it. That's why I put you guys in my stories.
No, I appreciate that. It's as far as the music scene goes, it's hard because we don't have the millions of dollars that the records labels do to push stuff up. The independent music scene is getting a lot bigger, yeah. But it's based upon us getting people to listen to us traveling, because we don't have, talking about social media again. Right now, if I put $100,000 into my social media account, I can grow exponentially and have millions of followers right away. Right. But I don't have a couple $100,000 to throw into my Instagram account. Now, if we sign with a major label, that's one of the first things they would do, was they would dump 100 G's in our Instagram account, and it didn't matter if our music sucked. If people are getting to it, like you said, 300 something million people, I only need a third of those people to like my stuff, and I'm a millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like not even a third, like, less than that. But I don't have so we are based upon getting word of mouth, getting people to listen to it and like it and understand that it was written. We don't write these songs to get famous. We write these songs because we love music.
Right.
And we're hoping that somebody, if one of them, we puke out another one the next month when we go to the studio and it goes huge, thank God.
Right.
We deserve it, but we've worked our butts off. But until then, just the enjoyment of people listening, it's kind of, the fact that you're in Texas, I'm up here in Illinois, and you guys listen to our music makes that means something to me. It really does. So
are you guys in Southern Illinois?
We are dead center in the middle. We're outside Champaign.
Oh, you're right near Champaign-Urbana, right by University of Illinois.
So I'm like 2.5 hours to Chicago, 2.5 hours to St. Louis, 2.5 hours to Indy. So we're dead. It makes it decent for gigging because we can, hit off different directions. But yeah, we're dead center in the middle.
Okay, I was born and raised on the southwest side of Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. My husband makes fun of my accent to this day. I will tell you, I feel like I have lost my accent. Okay, of course, people in Texas make very big comments about how I haven't lost it. But when my older kids, my kids are like your age, when my older kids were young, they said, Mom, we couldn't even understand you because you get in your car and you eat hot dogs, and I'd be like, yes, I know, I'm aware. Okay. And I watch hockey. Okay. But I was born and raised on the southwest side. I went to college in Michigan. I went to college in Grand Rapids. So and then when I was in high school, I went to Chicago Christian High School, and we had a really good basketball team because we're Dutch. And, we grew up tall in the Dutch ethnicity. So we always had good basketball teams. And so we'd always go down to Champaign-Urbana to play in the private high school final thing. And so, and my brother actually got first master's degree at University of Illinois. Yeah, so I know that area quite well. But you don't have as much of an accent as I do. And it's so funny because I am 61 years old. I have not lived in Chicago since I was 18. Okay, but I still have that accent.
Yeah.
Like,
I've moved all over, so I don't really, any accent I had kind of got washed out of me when I started talking.
mine would. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm married to a Texan, he reckons, he fixins,
Yeah.
but when Peyton was little, he would say naughty like that, right? And I said to my other kids one time, because he's quite a few years younger, and I said, why does he say it like that? And they're like, have you heard yourself say it?
That's great.
That's probably why I never went into music, because nobody wanted to hear that. No, but I love your music. I'm a big fan. And I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of your Instagram account. I'm serious. You guys put out great pictures.
Yeah, that was me. I'm learning how to do the editing. I'm learning how to do decent photographs, and haven't purchased any lighting equipment yet, but we got good, flat land out here, so we got good sunlight no matter which direction. We no, it's a work in progress, and we, like I said, any more people we can expose to it, we appreciate it. And we're I hear the boys back there knocking on the back door there. We got practice coming out here. We're supposed to start at 10 minutes or so here, but yeah, we do the best we can to get that Instagram growing. And I want to do it, I want to do it to where we make relationships on our Instagram. We don't just have followers,
Yes, like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if you guys weren't on Instagram, we wouldn't. And now, we will be happy to promote you too. We're going to put you guys on our wall. We have it's a shout out wall on both Team Awesomism website and Awesomism Mom of people that support us. You'll be on it. We'll have your logo. And so we really appreciate you doing the podcast with us.
Thank you.
People that listen to us or go to my social media and follow me will hear your stuff. And we will definitely have your stuff on our Team Awesomism Virtual Academy. And anything we can do to help you, you let us know. And we love having you as a guest. Thank you so, so much.
Again, thanks for having me. And you and I will get together. Anything you guys need, clips for music, we'll make that stuff happen. And thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a beautiful night.
You can take care.
All right. Bye-bye.